One of the biggest benefits to Docufinity Server is the ability to quickly and easily search and retrieve emails from our archives. This video will provide a demonstration of just how easy that process is to respond to a public records request. So let's start with a records request. So we've got a request from someone requesting copies of emails relating to the construction of the Main Street Bridge, as well as emails between two individuals in a certain date range. And this person has requested that these emails be sent via email, as well as physical copies mailed to them, and they have also specifically requested complete header information. So typically what would have happened or what would happen with an organization not using Docufinity Server is the request would come in to the public records clerk, whether that be your clerk treasurer, fiscal officer, department head, whoever. The request would come into them or be routed to them. And the first thing they would have to do is, with this first portion of the request, contact anyone who might be involved, might have been involved in the bridge project, and request copies of any email that they may have on their computer or that they may have archived to a backup regarding that project. And then once they have received those emails from the other staff members or elected officials, then they would filter through those, decide which of those would constitute a public record, which ones would be relevant to the request, and if there's any information that needs to be removed. Likewise, with this second portion of the request, email between these two people, they would have to request that those two people review their emails for this time period and provide that email back. And again, the clerk would have to go through and determine which of those need to be responded with. That's a process that typically takes a few days. It can take longer than a week by the time you get a hold of everyone, ask them to go and do their searches, bring those records back, and then your clerk finally has a chance to go through and construct the response. We'll show you in this video how Docufinity Server can take that process from as long as a week or longer down to a matter of a few minutes. So we've got the request. We're going to start the clock ticking here. And the first thing that we'll do is go ahead and log into our administrative console. You'll notice several buttons on this page and graphics that we can cover in a later video. For now, we'll be focusing on the search emails and a little bit on this collection manager. So the first thing that the clerk is going to do, the records clerk is going to do when they come in, is click on Search Emails. And again, we have two options here to search. There's a simple search, which will search the subject, the body, the sender, and the recipient fields. So you could plug in somebody's name. It would find all emails sent to or from that person. You could plug in something that you expect to be in the subject or body of a relevant email. And you can also do an advanced search where you could narrow it down by date range, by sender, recipient, specific search terms that you believe would be in the subject or in the body. For the first part of our request here, any emails relating to the construction of the Main Street Bridge, we're going to do a simple search, and we will just search for the word bridge. As soon as we do that, we're presented with a list of all relevant emails. The list includes the date that the email was sent, the subject, who the sender was, who the recipient was, as well as options of things that we can do with that email. So the clerk would go through this list and review emails that look like they may be relevant. Updated bridge budget, maybe. They would look through that. Back to the results here. Contractors, that's another one that might be relevant. They would look at that and consider whether or not it is. And then as they go here, they can select these using the checkbox to the left any emails that they want to include in the response to this request. So once we've got those all reviewed and selected, then the next thing we're going to do is actually add them to a collection. And a collection is sort of just a folder of emails created by a user that is saved until the user decides not to save it anymore. It's saved so that they can build a complicated records request that might require multiple searches, or one that may need to be reviewed before being released. So in this case, we had two searches or two requests that we're going to lump together. So we're going to create a collection. So we could select from collections that already exist, or we can create a new collection. In this case, we will create a collection called Bridge and Correspondence Requests. And we'll even spell correspondence right. Whoops. Let's try that again. So we've got that collection made, and the emails that we had selected are no longer selected. If we go over here to Collection Manager, we'll see we have the bridge and correspondence request. We'll view that. There are 5 records in there, and you can see that those are there. Now, the second part of our request was correspondence between Stephen Ingalls and Howard Kelly between the dates of January 1st and January 5th. So we'll do an advanced search for that. We'll start with January 1st, go through January 5th, and we will look first for things from Stephen to Howard. And we'll see that there's one email, and we will go ahead and add this to that collection that we already created. And so that was Bridge and Correspondence Requests, and we'll save that. Then we'll do another advanced search, again for January 1st to January 5th, this time from Howard to Stephen. And we'll see that there are 2 emails there, and we will select all of those, and again add this to the Bridge and Correspondence Requests. So once we've done that, we'll go into the collection manager again, and we will open that collection. And again, now we see that we've got 7 messages here. And from here, we can do a couple things. We can first of all remove them from the collection. So if on further review we realize that we don't need these 2 that appear to be duplicates, we can remove that from the collection, and it's gone. We can also send out individual emails from here of the individual records. In this case, though, we want to send all of them. So we will do Select All, and we will go up here to our email icon. And this email was going to go to this email address. And we can put any message we want in. Now, this person also had requested that they wanted the headers. And before I turn those on, as you look down through here, all of these emails are presented that you can go ahead and review. We also do provide a redaction tool that will allow you to select text and redact it, so that if you do have information that needs to be protected or that is not a matter of public record, you can redact that information and it will not be visible on the outgoing email. The information is still preserved in the archive. In fact, the next time we view this email, it will not be redacted. But we can redact it here before we send it. And we can also say, we want to show the raw headers, And once we've added that, then all of the header information, and you can find this in your email by going to typically to view the email and then view headers. And that is a part of the public record. And the reason that it's in this request is most of the time communities either don't provide that information and many times don't even know how to access that information, but it is part of the complete record and should be included with the request. So once we've done that, we can go through and hit Send Email Now, and that email request has been sent out. This is a confirmation of the email that was sent. Now, we're going to go back, in fact, to Collection Manager because this person had requested the emails be hard copied as well. We'll open the collection, and this time we're going to select all of the emails, and we're going to go to our print icon, or our PDF icon, I should say. And again, we've got a preview of all of the emails. We can do the redaction here just like we can on the email copy, and we can include the raw headers as well. And then once we do that, we click Print Save Mail. That will open it in a window that does not have the Docufinity headers, and it will open your print screen. Each email is divided. You can see the redacted information there in the preview. Each email is on its own page. And if you wanted to, you could print this to your printer, or if you wanted to save it as a PDF, you could do that from right within your print window, and you name the file and then save it. So we would print the email, and we can go back, and in this case we no longer need that collection anymore, so we'll delete the entire collection, and we're done. In less than 10 minutes, 9 minutes and 18 seconds, it took us to respond to that public records request that typically would have taken a week or so to respond and probably multiple man hours. We've done it in about 10 minutes. So, like I said, Docufinity Server is very, very intuitive to use and gives you the ability to respond to records requests very quickly.